quick. Mute this up. Greetings. What's up? How you guys doing? Welcome. Welcome. Friday night. Thank you for coming and making it by. Man, I've been kind of. Hopefully, you guys can hear me clearly. I should have did a sound check before I started. But I spent a couple hours today researching this whole story with Briana and this guy Victor, and we did a live stream last night. So hopefully, you guys didn't miss it on that. Let me double check and make sure we're good on Facebook too. And so I looked into the history of this guy, and it actually all started with this guy that messaged me today. So I want to quickly give him a little bit of credit. Chris Matthews sent me an email this morning, an email that led me down this crazy rabbit hole. When he emailed me, he sent me a link to the Fort Bent website, which led me to one of the people, Natasha. And from there, it literally took me down a rabbit hole where I found 4 other women. And one woman goes into really deep details about what happened. It should be playing on Facebook. I think I see it on Facebook. Should be playing there. Oh, yeah, doing a little test. One woman goes into some really crazy details. So I'm going to give it a second, let people join, warm up. I got a lot of reading to do. I got a lot of documents to show you guys. I mean, this whole situation goes pretty far back. And even to the point where some of these women experience the same things that Briana experienced besides, death. And it's just this crazy cycle of all these different women that have gone through these different situations. What I thought would be kind of a good idea while we wait for a minute, I wanted to play just a quick little news clip video from yesterday, just to give a quick little synopsis for people that haven't heard the story. But if you don't know the story, I really recommend you go watch yesterday's video because I think it was pretty good. Let me open this up real quick. See where I put that. There it is. I had a whole entire folder. Everything disappeared. The video that I thought was pretty good was, I'm going to play one clip and then we'll get into all the documents. Oh, let me say hi to you guys too, by the way. Tori, Jonathan, Karen, I hate intros, April, Christina, Sarah, Sharon, Cynthia, Miss Honey, Crystal, thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. Please hit like, share, subscribe, all that good BS that does nothing because YouTube screws us. Rachel, Lisa, Jason. So I'm going to play this quick little clip just to warm you up. You guys can get to know the story a little bit for people that missed it. Oh, my bad. There we go. Oh, got to add it to the screen. I'm tripping tonight. Boom.
After a chase in Beaumont, they say that they found the body of Briana Johnson in the trunk of his car. Right now, HPD officers are outside a Houston home waiting to go inside to search for clues. Channel 2's Taisha Walker now with the details of this story.
This morning, Houston police are waiting to get a search
warrant what's up?
to enter
Tori.
the Magistrate home right behind me. We are told that evidence found inside of a car in Beaumont after a chase led them to this address. This morning, a man is in Jefferson County Jail after police found a Houston woman's body in his trunk following a chase in Beaumont. DPS troopers say Victor Campbell Jr. of Fresno was speeding down I-10 eastbound when they tried to pull him over. The 35-year-old man drove off and later crashed. That's when troopers discovered the body of 28-year-old Briana Johnson in the car's trunk. Investigators don't yet know how she died, but they hope that they'll get some clues once they're able to search this Houston home.
We found items on scene that could link the persons involved back to this address.
This morning, Campbell is facing a charge for evading arrest and abuse of a corpse. Reporting in Houston, Taisha Walker.
Okay. All right. And if you're watching yesterday's video too, there was talk about her being strangled. So now I have all these documents. I'm going to have to do a lot of reading. So I got my water and my Pedialyte here. With regards to this whole situation, which what I think I want to do is what I think would make sense is taking you guys back and then bringing you to the current time, because I saw the documents with Briana also, and there were some other details that were interesting that I didn't know about. So let me start with this first. If I can find the documents, there we go. Okay. So there was an incident in California with a woman. Okay. I could not find the actual documents for this situation. It was really hard. I spent hours today. California has this thing where it's like, I guess they protect criminals or whatever. You can't, like, if it's a criminal record, it's really hard to find unless you go in person. You have to like request it. But I found one reference to it. Okay. So Leah is the next person that we're going to talk about. I took time to, I spent a couple hours and I made some redactions to all the documents because I thought it would just be proper to, you know, if whatever I can, addresses and all that stuff too. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. So first of all, let's focus with the first incident I'm telling you about, California, which I couldn't find, like nothing. In this incident where they're talking about Leah, they reference this other situation from 2004. So we're starting at 2004. It is further presented that before the commission of the offense alleged above, October 12th, 2004, in the Superior Court of California in Solano County, pain in the ass website, they give you no information, was convicted of assault of a family member, which was committed against a person whom the defendant had a dating relationship. This is as far back as I can go. With that story, there's no details. One of the stories that I am going to tell you, there's pages of details. This woman tells her account of what happened with him. It's like, it's pretty wild. But I, you know, just taking you back first from what I could find. So that's the first incident, which we have no details to. And if she sees this, maybe she will want to reach out. The other thing too that I wanted to kind of show you really quickly, off the woman. Let's see if I can open this. I found this, which was like really, really hard to find. Campbell Victor Charles. They didn't put his date of birth, so I didn't have a way to verify his date of birth. So I'm not 100% sure this is him. All the other documents I verified. But I just wanted to show you that this was kind of interesting. If this is him, this is from 2003. Okay. And remember the incident with this California woman, because we don't know her name. It's 2004. So this all happened in California. And so he has misdemeanors of DUI with alcohol, driving, alcohol blood level, causing injury, restricting, obstruction, whatever, driving without a license, DUI. It goes on and on and on. And I just thought it was kind of an interesting thing. I can't find any details. I couldn't get any court documents, nothing. But I just thought that was an interesting thing because as we know with Briana, the guy was driving intoxicated, and some of the other stories we're going to hear of the woman, they said he was intoxicated. So I just thought that was interesting to see that far back. 2008. All right. Monica said the only way to get criminal records is the courthouse. The DOC side will only. Yeah, California has this thing, man. It's really, really hard. Some of the other places I could. California, forget about it. So, okay. So I believe this is 2008, right? This is Leah. And this is one of the court documents. There were a bunch of court documents. I really just took what I thought was relevant and pertinent to not take you and drag you guys through everything. But basically here, Victor C. Campbell, which is the guy, the defendant on or about October 16, 2008, did then and unlawfully intentionally knowingly cause bodily harm to Leah, a person whom the defendant had a dating relationship. The complainant styled the complaint by using a deadly weapon, namely his hands. And they call that aggravated assault, family member, deadly weapon. And so here's the details of this, which is pretty crazy. And this is too, I mean, I thought about this thing. I was reading all this stuff and I'm like, yo, and we'll always talk about it on this channel. Like, just really, you need to, I feel like, I guess you have to vet the people that you're with. Somebody said, no, I don't think that's what it is, Sarah. I just think that when you're living with somebody in your relationship, I think they call it that. I don't know. Once you're in a household and living together, I don't know. I'm not sure why they do that. But I mean, we talk about here all the time, single life. You have to really, I guess you really have to vet people. It's no game. And for the ladies out there, I mean, you seriously look at this crap. I mean, we haven't even got started yet. And for the fathers out there too, it's a thing to think about for their daughters. And there's crazy women too. But so everybody needs to check. So yeah, so they had a dating relationship for more than 8 years, long time. When your affiant spoke to the complainant on the phone, she stated that she did have a dating relationship with the defendant and that on October 16, 2008, Houston, Texas. So now we're in Texas because we started in California. The defendant struck her with his fist, and then he used his hands as a deadly weapon and strangled her. Okay? Strangled her. Isn't that the same thing with Briana? Strangulation. And I actually have more details about that. We're going to get into that later. Please hit like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate it. The complainant stated to your affiant that while the defendant had his hands around her throat, she passed out for an unknown time. But when she woke up, she began to cough blood. The complainant stated that this aggravated assault began in her bedroom. When she woke up, she was still in her bedroom. The complainant stated that your affiant said aggravated assault caused her pain and injury. So this officer arrives. He shows up. And the officer stated that she observed the complainant had a bloody swollen lip and the left eyelid was swollen red. Okay. So that's that story from 2008. See what happened. Oh, another, and a quick document from there too. Make sure the redacted one. So they issued a order of emergency protection, which is one of the common themes with this whole situation, all these different women and this guy. They were in a relationship and they issued orders not to go around her, not to harass her, all that stuff. I just wanted to show that really quickly before we move on to the next thing. That was the protective order. Let's see. Okay. Making sure I pull up the redacted content or documents. So this is the other woman now, and this is where the details are. I mean, it's very detailed. It's crazy. Welcome, everybody that's joining. We're talking about the story from yesterday with regards to Briana, and there's a bunch of other women now from years and years and years. And this one, to me, had the most details out of all of them. So this is Natasha from Texas, Fort Bend. And they were also dating. And I just want to skip to the portion where she tells her story. I think it's on this document here, I'm pretty sure. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So this is Natasha's story. My name is Natasha. I am years old. My date of birth, and I'm residing at. I took the time and I redacted all this stuff. You know, it's public information, but I'm requesting a protective order against my ex-boyfriend, Victor Charles Campbell Jr. He's 24 years old. He was 24 at the time. And his date of birth is May 16, 85. All public information. I do not know where he works. Victor and I do not have any children together. I have a teenage son from a previous relationship. He resides with me. In the past, Victor has choked me, pulled my hair, punched, shoved around, slapped, thrown things at me, and threatened to use a belt on me. The abuse started approximately 1 month after we started dating. And after he was done with his probation, he was on probation for assaulting his previous girlfriend in California. So that's the woman that we were just talking about. The California situation, the 2000, I think it was 2014. That's kind of saying like how it all kind of comes back in full circle. Victor and I dated for almost 2 years. We separated on June 12, 2009 because he assaulted me. From the beginning of our relationship, Victor was very insecure. And a lot of these things, we talked about this yesterday on the stream before we even knew all this stuff, right? People in the comments were kind of talking about he seems like the type, like just insecure, jealous. I don't know. If I got home late, he would accuse me of sleeping around and he would hit me. He would assault me at least 2 or 3 times a month. He would also verbally abuse me. Some of the incidents took place while he was intoxicated. In the end of 2008, I changed my phone number numerous times to end my relationship with Victor. He would wind up calling my work and harassing me. I ended up giving my new phone number to prevent him from calling my work and possibly getting me fired. That's crazy. Sometime in the fall of 2008, Victor and I were at my house. I was asleep. He woke me up. He accused me of sleeping around when we argued. Out of nowhere, he punched me in the middle of the chest. He kicked me in my leg. He punched me on my arm a few times. He told me to tell him the truth. He apologized and we went to bed. The next day, I had a huge purple bruise on my chest. I also had bruises on my arms. I did not call the police. From November 2008 to December 2008, Victor was in jail during this time because he had a warrant for assaulting his ex-girlfriend. He was later released on probation. Sometime in the beginning of January 2009, I saw that Victor had a protective order keeping him away from his ex-girlfriend. Sometime in January of 2009, Victor had gone to court regarding an assault against his ex-girlfriend. During this time, he told me how he wished he could kill his ex-girlfriend. I told him to stop saying those things about her. Sometime in April 2009, Victor and I were at my house. We argued. I tried to leave the house. Victor pulled my hair hard. He managed to pull out the weave. He shoved my head against the wall twice. He pushed me into the bedroom. We continued to argue. He pushed and kicked on me while in bed until he fell asleep. Sometime in the beginning of May 2009, Victor and I were at my house. He was accusing me of sleeping around. I was sitting on the edge of the bed. Victor slapped me so hard, my hearing aid popped out of my left ear. I felt pain. I did not call the police. Let me get it. Sorry, let me take a minute. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry if I'm missing it. Sorry about that. Okay. On or about May 16, 2009, I went to Victor's house to drop off his clothes to him. He walked up to the car. He asked me who was the guy I was talking to at work a couple of days before. I told him I was not cheating on him with anybody. He grabbed me by the neck with one hand. I drove away. He let go of me. I felt pain in my neck. He kept calling me later that day, and I did not answer. I did not call the police. Sometime in the end of May 2009, Victor and I argued. He stroked my hair. In a calm demeanor, he told me he wished he could set me on fire. He continued to stroke my hair. Sometime in the first week of June 2009, Victor and I were at my house. Victor and I were arguing about the usual. He started pinching on my nipple. I told him to stop. Victor squeezed my nipple very hard again. He started laughing at me. I did not call the police. I still feel the pain in my left nipple. On or about June 3rd, 2009, Victor and I were at his mom's house. We were sitting on the floor watching Maury Povich. The show was about people cheating. A commercial came on. He grabbed the remote control. He asked if I had cheated on him. He hit me with the remote control. He asked me and hit me again. He did this a couple of times. I told him to stop because it hurt. I backed up into the sofa. He grabbed the poker to the fireplace. He grabbed me by the neck. He pulled the poker back, and he started to hyperventilate. I could not breathe. He lowered the poker. I told him again I could not breathe. I started to cry. He brought me some milk. He tried to fan me. I told him I needed to go outside. He finally let me out. He lit a cigarette. He asked if I was scared of him. I said no. I said I was. No, sorry. He said I was, and he went to go get dressed. He came downstairs. I saw he had a gun in his pants. He told me I had told his mama he had a gun and that I was going to help him get rid of it. I don't know what happened to the gun, but I never saw it again. He knew I was afraid of guns. I had a bruise on my leg. I did not call the police. On or about June 7, 2009, Victor and I were supposed to have a picnic the day before, but he got intoxicated, and I took him to his home. In the morning, Victor came over to my house. He pounded on the door. He yelled at me to open the door. I told him to leave or I would call the police. He called for my son. My son told him to leave. Victor wanted to get his belongings. And that's one of those tricks too these people do. I dealt with that one time. I've actually talked to people about that a long time ago. Like I got to get this, or I want this back, or I want this, and I want that gift, and all of that. And then you have to keep coming back and returning back, trying to find an excuse. I put his things in a bag and threw them over the balcony. Victor left my house. So now we're on June 11th. On or about June 11, 2009, Victor and I were at home. We were in bed. I had gotten home about 10 o'clock at night. We argued. He accused me of sleeping around. He called me a bitch, whore, slut, and other names. He pushed me off the bed. I fell to the floor. I cried. I got up and went to the kitchen. Victor followed me to the kitchen. He asked again who I had screwed. I told him nobody. He put both of his hands around my neck, which is a common theme with all the women, and it's what happened to Briana. He squeezed my neck hard. I could not breathe. He let go. He told me he felt like punching my face. He told me if I was pregnant, he would punch me in the stomach. Which I just thought that little part there was interesting too, because I was thinking of the theory that somebody mentioned last night. Well, somebody's in timeout. Who's in timeout? Somebody got in trouble? Good. And I might open the lines up after. I still got a lot of documents. What's up, Loki? I still got a lot of documents, but I might open up the lines if people want to call. If not, that's cool too. I had a couple of things to do with the computer tonight. But okay, so he follows her into the kitchen. He's questioning her. He said, who did you screw? I told him nobody. He put both of his hands around my neck. He squeezed my neck hard. I could not breathe. He let go. He told me he felt like punching me in my face. He told me if I was pregnant, he would punch me in the stomach. He did punch me very hard in the right side of my stomach. So it's like, was he afraid that she was going to get pregnant? It seemed like he had a fear of that. He hollered and screamed at me. He pinned me on the sofa. He continued to scream at me. He told me he wished he could set me on fire. And that kind of reminds me too, I'm not going to detract too much, but it reminds me of that one story we're talking about that I covered on the channel not too long ago. That guy where the whole family, the house burned down. It was a woman. It was like 4 kids. And the guy got arrested. Strangulation was Victor. Yeah. Strangulation is definitely, that's what I was thinking. It's his MO. It seemed like this was only going to be a matter of time. And I also wonder about like the woman now, if they seen the story that happened with Briana and they thought maybe that could have been him or something, or them. Sorry, that could have been them. So he pinned me on the sofa. He continued to scream at me. He told me he wished he could set me on fire. He grabbed me by the arms and squeezed them tight. He pushed my head back about 3 times. I felt pain. I was crying. I kept looking at the clock. I told him I had to be at work around 7 in the morning. Every time I try to get up and sit outside, he pushed me down on the sofa. He kept cursing and asking who was I screwing and asking me for the truth. He repeatedly asked me to tell him the truth. He repeatedly asked me if I was scared of him. I told him I was. He went on until about 2 a.m. On or about June 12, 2009, I woke up to get ready for work. At 6 o'clock in the morning, fix this a little bit. He looked at me and asked where I was going. I went back to bed. I got up again around about 20 minutes later. I was in the shower. I saw him standing in the bathroom doorway, fully dressed. He told me he wanted to drive me to work. I told him I wanted to drive. I got dressed and we left. He drove me to work and continued to accuse me of sleeping with someone. He dropped me off at work. I called him around 1 o'clock for him to pick me up for lunch. He sounded intoxicated. I was concerned. He never showed. I called him at 3 o'clock and asked him to pick me up. He told me I had to wait until 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, I went outside to see if I saw Victor. I saw Victor parked away from the store in the parking lot. He was with a friend and someone else. I went back and clocked out. One of the associates called me and told me that Victor was outside waiting on me. I went outside. I told his friend that I was going to drive. Victor was about 10 feet away. He had both of his fists balled up, and he told me, "Natasha, bring your bitch ass here." I was scared. I knew something bad was going to happen. I turned around and went back into the store and locked the doors. He pulled the locked doors open. I turned around and told my manager to call the police. I ran into the warehouse and told the guys Victor was after me. I hid in the warehouse. I was crying. The guys went outside and stopped him. I came out of the warehouse, and one of my coworkers told me the police was on the way. They told me Victor had taken off his shirt and was pacing up and down the front of the store of the sidewalk. Police arrived and they arrested Victor. My boss also pressed charges against Victor for assaulting him. I had bruising in my neck and my right lower abdomen. I had soreness in my neck. I had trouble swallowing for a couple of days. On or about June 20th, 2009, Victor called me on my cell phone. I was at work. He asked me if I had pressed charges against him. I told him, why did it matter if we're not together? He asked about who had answered my phone when he called me. He asked if it was my ex. He asked if I had pressed charges. He hung up. I told the police officer outside my job that he was calling me. Victor called back again. The police answered. The police told Victor to stop calling me. I want a protective order against my ex-boyfriend, Victor Charles Campbell. The reason I believe there will be future violence is because from his previous history of violence amongst women, I know that he is capable. I know what he is capable of. I believe when he says that he is going to do something, he will do it. He knows that I'm scared of him. I feel he needs help. I have asked him to get help and he has said that he believes no one but his mother can help him. Maybe if he gets help, he might become a better person. I fear that he will come back and try to have some type of contact with me. I fear going home at night, not knowing if he will be there. That was 2009. Holy moly. All right. There's more. I think that's probably the most detailed account, and I'm sure even that's not everything. But to kind of show, okay, let's see here. So we were there. Okay. What was that there? Okay, there we go. Bang, bang. Redacted. Pages 135. Okay. So this was the protective order. This was 2009 for Victor and Natasha. Page 3. I'm just going to be skimming through this and show what's kind of pertinent. And so it says here, the court further finds that family violence as defined section whatever has occurred, and that family violence is likely to occur in the foreseeable future. That the resident has committed family violence, dating violence, and defined by the section. probable cause exists to believe that a hate crime was committed and that the nature of the scheme and course of conduct engaged by the respondent in the commission of the offense indicates the respondent is likely to engage in future hate crimes. Like where we're at today. And so this is the order for Natasha. It's page 3. You go to page 5. And supposedly this guy, I guess, this is what it seems like to me, and shall on or before 5 p.m. October 7, 2009, after issuance of this order, filed with the court an affidavit stating that the respondent has begun said domestic violence counseling. So I don't know if that guy ever started or not. I don't think it did anything. 5, and we go to 7. So this protective order was effective August 2011. Wait, until the 3rd day of August 2011. 3rd day of 2009. The order issued after hearing which Victor Charles had an actual notice and what Victor Charles had the opportunity to participate included a finding that Victor represents a credible threat to Natasha. The order by its terms explicitly prohibits the use of attempted use or threatened physical force against her or the children. And the other thing that happened, the last part of this document, is they restricted him from having firearms or ammunition. And I'm assuming it's because of that gun thing that she reported. Oops. Next. And these we're going to breeze through quick so we can get to the next portion. Okay. Also, that same protective order, it was also extended. And what I thought was interesting about this too, it states a little bit of his incarceration, which we've kind of talked about. August 3rd, 2009, a protective order was granted by the court. Said protective order expired August 3rd, 2011. The respondent was incarcerated in Fort Bend County from September 28th, 2009 until June 7, 2010. He was then transferred to Harris County and was incarcerated from June 7, 2010 to October 19, 2010. He was then transferred to Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He remained in custody until October 19, 2010. And then he was released on September 6, 2012. What else? Let's see. We skipped it. There was that. Is there anything else pertinent? It's just more records of the time that he served, Harris County, all that stuff. 12, 13, 14. 3 years sentence, which I don't think he actually did all 3 years or something. Date of offense, 2008. Sentence date, 2010. Sentence began 9/7/2009. Maximum discharge 9/6/2012. Okay. And the last final thing with regards to this woman, Natasha, which was kind of a crazy story in itself. It was extended too. Well, I mean, there were so many documents, but this was just another thing that from there. What was the date? Grants the motion to extend, 1 year from the person's release date. So with that takes us to, we're still not done. There's still another woman, and then we're going to get to Briana. I didn't realize there were so many documents. Okay, so 2014. Let's talk about 2014. What happened 2014? You guys still with me in the chat? All right. Are the comments working on Facebook? They should be. I see you talking. See you, Facebook. Latest comments. Yeah, I see it. I see you guys. Okay, so what happened in 2014? I'm gonna try not to take you through all the documents and wording, but just so you guys know, yeah, he definitely has a pattern. Okay, so now we're talking about Angela. Okay. So Victor, on or about April 24, 2014, did then and there unlawfully, intentionally, and knowingly, whatever, cause bodily injury to Angela. Here after the style complaint, a person who the defendant had a dating relationship by striking the complainant with his hand. It is further presented that Victor on 2014. Okay, so what he did was by applying pressure to the complainant's neck with his hands. Another woman being choked out. It is further presented, and it's kind of ironic too that a lot of these documents, they're referencing all the previous incidences. It's like, oh, he choked out a woman. Okay, let him go. Or yeah, he served a little bit of time. Let him out. Another woman dates him. He goes and chokes out another woman. Give him a little bit of time. Oh, been doing it for years. So here they reference the, well, I'm not exactly sure what case they're talking about here, but they're talking about March 2010, assault of a family member, which was committed against a member of the defendant's family. I don't know if that's one of the cases I referenced or is that something else? I don't know. But they referenced that. What happened? So she had to get a protective order like all the other women. Protective order. 2014, April. Make sure you guys can see. All right. And the other court document. So here again, they talk about Angela's incident where I guess he struck her with his hands by applying pressure to the complainant's neck with his hands. They reference the 2010 incident again from this other person. And let's see here. March 12, 2010. And then they reference this other one from July 20th, 2010. Two different charges. I don't know exactly which people, but the guy has a long ass history. 4 years TDC. I don't know if he was on probation or not at the time. Assault a family member. 2 years. 2 to 20 years. Let's see what other pages I had here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was it. Okay. That was the final one. So, all right. So we're done with all the past stuff. And now I'm going to get a little bit into Briana, some of the new court document. I don't know if it's really new, but it had information on there that I hadn't seen. Let me go back here. 2020. 2020. Now I can close that out. Mel, read your message from me. I'll check it out. It's sometimes hard for me to check people's messages when I'm live streaming. People like to call me, text me. Everybody wants to talk to me while I'm doing a live stream. Oh, all right. I'll hit you up after. So, okay. So this is the current situation. And honestly, I'm just doing all this. I'm going through this whole ass long history just to, take what you can take for the ladies, for all the people out there, anybody getting into these relationships that you guys really need to maybe slow down, take your time. Some of these, well, I don't want to say anything mean because I don't want them to think I'm talking about Briana, but people just really need to slow down. People are so constantly, desperately looking for love, looking for companionship. There's a lot of crazy people, and they're preying, especially on nice people, giving people, people they know they can take you for a ride. Okay, so with this is Briana, and he did what he did with all the other women, but I guess he fully went through with it. And he strangled her, right? November 27, 2020. Let me scroll through the relevant parts. I should have marked the pages on here, but he has a history: the 2010, the 2014, all this stuff I was just telling you guys about. 2010, 2014. I even think I called out more than they mentioned here. This is all the stuff we talked about on the last show. I want to take you to the portions that we didn't talk about. So here they're talking about with the guy, Victor, I guess when he was pulled over or something, Ranger Benson reported that he noticed considerable swelling to the face of the complainant, as well as blood coming from. Oh, but this is talking about Briana. Okay, so Trooper Molina. So this is when they find her in the trunk. I'm going to read this because I didn't actually know they detailed this. Reported that as he was dealing with the defendant, Trooper Camarello discovered the body of the complainant wrapped in a white sheet. That same sheet that he was seeing on video. Yasmin, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Oh, really? What? Oh, wow. Angela's in the chat. I don't know. I could open up the lines. I don't know if she wanted to talk or you guys let me know. It's kind of hard for me to see the chat. Okay, so this person, she notices the body in the trunk, the white blanket, the white sheet. Briana was identified by her driver's license. Ranger Benson reported that he noticed considerable swelling to the face of the complainant, as well as blood coming from her ear. Ranger Benson later spoke with the defendant. Ranger Benson reported to me that he noticed multiple injuries on the defendant's face and arms, consistent with, in his opinion, with those human scratch marks. Oh, you guys been trying to tell me? Where's she at? I don't see. Or is she under another name? You guys let me know if she wants to call in. I'll open up the lines. I'm almost towards the end. So the other thing too, as far as the forensics, the apparent cause of death was manual strangulation. We spoke about that yesterday, as evidenced by the following: Pitachi, I don't even know what that means, in complainant's eye, if I'm saying that right, bruising on the external tissue of the neck and bruising on the internal tissues of the neck. Dr. Rivers also told me that the bruises were shaped distinctly like hands. So like you could literally, oh, she does. Okay, I'll open up the lines then. Oh yeah, my bad, guys. I can't read and look. Okay. Dr. Rose told me that so there was bruises on the neck, additional bruising on the complainant's face, and multiple broken nails with blood underneath, with consistent signs of struggling. Let me open up the lines. Let me set this up. Give me 1 second and I'll open up the line. Okay. All right. So we're almost at the end of this portion. And that's the last thing that I had. I'll try to skim through it. I'm opening up the line. I would like for Angela to call in first. That's the call that I'd like to take. Let me call into the line.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your show number and press pound.
Oh. Okay.
Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Okay. Yeah, you guys should be live. Shouldn't see unless YouTube took me out. YouTube stopped the live. Really? Let me see. Let me take a quick look. The YouTube live is active for me. And then here's the phone lines here real quick. It's fine. You guys let me know, but it looks like it's working to me. And you said Shantae's calling in, but I thought Angela was calling in. Active. It stopped, but I came back. That's weird. Maybe YouTube's trying to take me out, man. That's actually a good idea. Oh, okay, okay. All right. That's cool. So the lines are open. There's this whole thing on this document that was kind of interesting. I want to try to if I can go through it kind of quickly. So the ranger, he goes to the address of where Briana was at. He met the owner of the duplex, Dwayne, and there was another person, the occupant of Unit A. We'll call this person Williams. That's a female. Dwayne reported to the trooper that Briana was the leasee of Unit B. Miss Williams told Parker that she knows the primary resident of Unit B as Briana. Furthermore, there are two other individuals who are often at Unit B, two other people. All right. Now, Williams stated that she knew the other two individuals as Shannon and Briana's boyfriend. Okay. So this is maybe that whole situation where somebody came to the apartment. I think it's actually a roommate. If you guys remember from yesterday, I'm not looking at the chat. Number is up. I'm going to get through this and then I'm going to take the phone line. Williams described Briana's boyfriend as a light-skinned black male. Affiant knows the description to be consistent with defendant Campbell. Williams advised that she last saw Briana, Shannon, and the unidentified male during the day on 11/26/2020. I later spoke to the roommate, Shannon. Oh, well, yeah, but that's her name. Who identified further as Shannon, date of birth, by her text. I found her to be credible. Mr. Jordan stated that both units A and B are equipped with external surveillance cameras. Ms. Williams had the capability of viewing the cameras from her television in the bedroom. Parker requested Ms. Williams to play the captured audio from the beginning of 11/27/2020. So the video reflects everything that we spoke about in yesterday's video. Both Williams and Jordan identified this female as the complainant, having known her for multiple months. At approximately 11 p.m., Ms. Shannon can be seen arriving and entering Unit B. This matches roughly with the time that she reported arriving home to me at approximately 11:15 p.m. This is the extra person that we were talking about in the story. Apparently, she's like a roommate. And so she arrives there and she saw a defendant, but did not. So she saw a defendant, but did not see the complainant. We're talking about Briana. She reported that she opened the front door of the house. She saw him coming out of the bedrooms. She stated that she only stayed for a few minutes, but smelled a strong odor of cleaning products. At approximately 11:15 p.m., a figure exits the front door of Unit B. This is where we see the guy coming out. As of writing the affidavit, officers have been unable to pinpoint when the male first arrived at Unit B. The male obtains a chair from the inside of Unit B and moments later hangs some type of cloth over the camera on Unit B's corner eye. And I think that was it. Yeah. Oh, there's more. All right, but I'm going to take the call. We're going to take this call. Basically, the other person was the roommate. Okay. 601. Hello. How you doing?
Hi, Mel. This is Angela.
Hi.
I went under the alias name of Shantae.
Hi. Thank you for calling in. So You're the person I was talking about in the story that we were just reading the documents from 2014, I think.
Yes, from Harris County.
Wow. Well, I mean, thank you for calling in. First of all, sorry for what you went through. I mean, I don't know what kind of feelings. It must be surreal just even seeing what happened and seeing this guy now locked up. I mean, what are your feelings on everything?
I was pretty shocked to see this story on YouTube a few days ago. And when I say shocked, I mean shocked that he was actually caught, because I went through this similar situation, and for it to actually go viral the way that it went viral. I hate that a life had to be taken. I really do. I hate that this happened to her, because it seems like I could feel her exact last moment of her taking her final breath, because when the sheriff came through the door for that 2014 situation, he was on top of me, strangling me.
Oh my God.
Right. They caught him on top of me, strangling me. My neighbors, whoever they were, I can't thank them enough. I don't know. I never knew who they were, but I can't thank them because they saved a life. And I really send my condolences to Briana family. I really do.
Wow. That, I don't even know what to say. It's kind of surprising to have you on the line. Has he, like, after that?
I'm just happy that
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just happy that they caught him, and I told the district attorney when that situation happened with me in 2014 that he needs to be locked up, because he's not going to stop. And now that they have him incarcerated, justice needs to be taken, because everybody can see the history behind this. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop this. It's like he's a serial killer.
Right. Oh my God. How long were you guys together?
Me and Victor was together for almost a year.
Oh, okay. Jesus. I mean, did it kind of start like, I guess, like love, like in a loving way or something, and then it just turned to kind of just craziness out of nowhere?
In the chat, I stated that I blame myself, and I'm not blaming myself as far as having a guilt trip. It's because because I was in a different mindset. I have evolved and grown over the years and became enlightened. So when I say that I blame myself, now that I look back on it over the years after it happened, I see the red flags. But when you're in the action of things, you sometimes don't always see the red flags, and you don't take action. You don't take heed to them. Actually, I would say a good heart can get you killed, and I actually have a good heart.
Right.
And I felt like I could help him and change him. It was, he has a manipulating type of mind, a manipulating type of way about him that he can put each argument get worse and worse. That's how it comes. Like the first argument is just verbal. And then after that, it's verbal, and then he's aggressive. And then the next argument is not only it's building, and then it gets to the point where he just snaps out, and you're to the point where he's strangling you. So that's how it leads up to that point.
Did you experience like jealousy too with him? I'm thinking of the other woman, the stories she was telling.
I did. He thought that I was cheating on him. That was the first thing that he said when I came through the door from work that day. He said, "Who have you been dealing with?" And I said, "No one. I've been at work."
What were maybe some of the red signs that, I mean, looking back, hindsight 2020, maybe that you could I don't know, tell people or anybody listening, maybe going through that kind of situation. I do agree with you too, though. Like, looking back, things kind of change. You do evolve, and you see a lot of the red signs and flags and stuff like that. But is there anything in particular that I don't know stuck out with this guy?
Other than I would say, just even though everyone sees his demeanor, it surprised me. I've been following this story, and everyone even just from the video clip, you can see and feel his energy. It is something about him. It's like the devil walks with him. I'm telling you. And those eyes will cut you. It's like the devil is within him. So I would just tell people, women, that go with your gut feeling. Your gut feeling will never tell you wrong. Look, it's the eyes that will tell you. Look in the eyes.
Right.
Look at the body gestures.
Was he? Oh, that's a good question too. Do you know? Was he just drinking? Was he on any kind of substances and stuff like that? Or
Yes, when he drinks, he gets really, really. It's like he's not even himself. And whenever he is going to get angry or fight and fuss or whatever he's going to do, he's really intoxicated that he's out of his mind.
Wow.
He's not even himself anymore. He's not the same person. And that's why when I listened to the story of how when they caught him, that they stated that he was out of his mind.
Yeah.
That's exactly how he was back in 2014. And then I listened to these stories and I'm like, oh my goodness, everything is similar. This is a pattern.
Right. Because that woman, when I was reading the details of Natasha, she had it was so detailed. I was like, man, he really seemed like he was just off his rocker. I mean, and with the threatening and the calls and the job and are you cheating? Are you cheating? Are you cheating? It's crazy.
There was also a situation after the 2014 situation. With another young lady.
Really?
Once you've been abused, after you've been abused like that and someone almost had taken my life, I kept up with him. Like, I kept up with his every action. And when I say not trying to keep up with him as far as of getting with him or anything, but for my safety, because I didn't feel that the time that he had received was enough, because he was still writing me letters telling me to sign an affidavit to let him out.
Wow.
To tell them that my statements were false. Yeah, he wanted me to tell them to let him out, but I didn't, and he served that time that he got for that 2014. But then after that, I saw on Facebook that he tried to send me a friend request, and it scared me. And I did not accept his friend request. But me being curious, I'm like, I need to know where he at. I need to make sure he's not in my city. So I see when I went to his Facebook page, I saw that he was with another young lady. And I just felt so sorry for her. I was like, do she know who she is with? And then it wasn't too long after that, he got into another incident with her and got incarcerated and recently got out a few months ago. And now this happened. He was recently released last year.
Wow. And that's what some people were commenting yesterday too, that he kind of looked like he was fresh out and stuff. And so I guess Briana got herself with the wrong person. It's kind of crazy too. It seems like you can just keep doing this kind of stuff over and over and over and over. There's like a long history of this stuff, and you just keep getting on these little probation or this little time. That guy seems like he almost could have been a serial killer. It's like, I don't know if he was perfecting it or he just was losing control, but something stopped him, and now he finally went all the way with it. And the other thing I think about too with Briana is that like she had her YouTube thing and her social media stuff, so that stuff might have set him off a little bit too. I'm sure if he's the jealous type and crazy, and then having that social media stuff.
Yeah, it will. Because 9 times out of 10, he didn't have anything going for himself. He has a history. It's probably hard for him to get a job, and he's jealous. And he knows that. That's why any woman that does have something going for herself, he leeches off of them. That's right. And I see the people comments. I see everybody comments. I'm looking and I see not only on your page, but I'm just following this story, and everybody is hitting everything head on. He leeches off of a woman that really has something going for herself, and then it's like he can't handle it. It's like he's like, oh, I have to stop her, and so it's overcome of envy, jealousy. It's all that in just a pot, and he explodes.
Wow. Did he still? I mean, I know you said he added you on Facebook. Did he call you after all that stuff happened in 2014? Did he how long after did he continue? Did he try for a while to keep contacting you, emailing you, or did he just kind of stop?
No, he did. He actually went ahead and reached out to me on Facebook, on Messenger. And to be honest, I wanted to accept that phone call because I needed closure. Because the last time I saw him, he was on top of me, and I was looking him in his eyes, and he was going to kill me. And I wanted to ask him a few questions. And the answers that he gave me, it didn't quite add up. Overall, he just told me, and to be 100% honest, he told me that, hey, I was just jealous. I felt that you had so much going on in your life. That's why when I say that he's jealous, he told me he is jealous.
Wow. Did he ever talk about his family, or did you ever meet his family or anything?
Yes. I know. I lived with him and his parents his mom. I lived with them. And
was he like that with them?
Yeah.
Or were they, I don't know. Or it's just the woman that he was with?
I would say, his mom loved him. Every mother loved their son. But, she tries to talk with him. She talked with me, and things like that. And, she even let me know that when he drinks, it's something about him drinking that it just makes him pop off, or something like that. But this is beyond just him drinking.
Wow. Do you know anything about his childhood?
Drinking is just an excuse.
Did he ever tell you anything? I
know some things about his childhood, but his and we all, and as far as of me not addressing that, is we all have things in our childhood that can traumatize us or trigger us and things like that. But it's no excuse for it to lead to what he's been doing for these years. It's no excuse. Like, I don't care what someone went through in their childhood, but, and when I say I don't care, I mean that, life is life. I just hate the downside about life, but it's no excuse for someone to go out here and actually just beat women the way that you do, attempt to kill them, and then kill a woman. You're taking an innocent life.
Do you think, when you went through the situations with him, and that time where you say when the cops came and he was literally strangling you, was there was other times too that he hit you? Was there other times that he strangled you? Like, how often did it happen? All the time, or every so often? And did he really feel remorse after, or do you think it was just like an act or something of remorse?
When the police came in and kicked down the door and grabbed him off of me, from my state of mind that I was in, because I was still in shock and trying to recover from him strangling me. I remember him being on the ground because he had stripped me out of my clothes. So the officers were trying to get clothes to go on me and clean me up and things like that. But I remember them having him on the ground outside and him screaming, "Oh, you guys are going to look at my old lady like that, and she's naked?" And the whole time I'm telling myself, I can't believe that he's saying this.
Wow. He put you in that situation with your clothes off and everything, and then the cops get there, and so now he's jealous that you're naked and they can see you like that. Wow.
Exactly.
That's
So
incredible.
he was very jealous.
Wow.
Exactly.
Do you know if you ever had any mental illness or anything, like diagnosed, or probably not, right? Probably doesn't. Yeah. Wow. Did you did you have to get therapy after? Like, how do you feel after? Like, have you recovered? You think that's something that's gonna stick with you like for the rest of your life? You know,
the doctor, I had to go to the hospital. They had to run CAT scans and things like that. For a moment, I had torn ligaments and broken bones in my leg because I had to jump down a flight of stairs just to try to get away. And when I jumped down, my entire left knee just gave out, and ligaments tore, bones crushed. And the doctors thought that I wasn't going to ever be able to walk right again. And I recovered from that. I take one day at a time. I never really went to a professional counselor or anything because my family was there to support me. And I just dived myself into working, and I just prayed and push forward every day. And I just take one day at a time. And, for them to catch him on this scenario, it lets me know that my supreme being hears me. He probably doesn't answer my prayers when I want him to, but eventually it will be answered.
Were there other instances of him hitting you and like choking you, or was like that was the worst at one time, or?
There was scenarios of us getting into real bad arguments and things like that, and I would tell him to leave the house, and my dad would have to come over and, tell him, hey, if you keep putting your hands on my daughter, I'm going to have to do something to you that I don't want to do. And it was one day I did have to leave the house with my dad. And yes, my family did tell me to leave. It was an unhealthy relationship. But like I stated, me being ignorant and just being foolish, and I'm confident enough to say that I was just being stupid. I was really just young and dumb.
Right.
And it almost cost me my life. But he hid. But one night I told him to leave my house, and I went to my dad's house, and I stayed at my dad's house for a few hours after a heated argument with him. And when I came back home, I had locked my door and everything when I left. And when I came back home, I, took a bath, was settling down for the night and everything. And I was laying on my couch watching TV. And I see this black shadow from my peripheral vision. Exactly. From my peripheral vision. Wow. And you can guess who it was. He came from up under my kitchen sink all those hours. He was under my kitchen sink. And I remember him leaving my house. When I left and I locked my door, so I don't know how he got in there.
Wow.
So yes, something was wrong.
The time when they came and he was strangling you, was that at his parents' house? Like, were you staying over there with them?
No, it was my apartment.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wow, that is so crazy. And this is just one story of one of the women, and there's been so many. It seems like even women we didn't even know about.
And honestly, I really feel that the ones that's documented are not even all of them.
Wow.
Exactly. Well,
I couldn't imagine.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Further, thank you for calling. I really appreciate you calling in to share your experience. Especially for maybe the other ladies out there, or even the guys. Sometimes, a lot of times you hear it's the the guy doing it to the woman, but there's other cases too. Cindy said it's not. Tell her it's not her fault. I think there's a lot of craziness going on, and I mean, I'm glad that you were able to overcome. And I think in a lot of times in these situations too, it's like, I don't know if it feels like maybe the law is not really there to protect you, kind of, in a way. Because I just wonder, like, the whole, when you do a protective order, restraining order, it's like a process, right? You got to go to court, then you have to show up. And well, for you, did it happen when the whole strangulation thing happened? Was like it issued right there, the emergency thing, or did you have to go through the process of like waiting for it to get approved in a court date?
It was instant. I didn't even. I had to leave. My family had to come pick me up because I couldn't. I was hurt that bad physically, so my family had to care for me for a period of time. I couldn't do anything. I had to recover, so I had to move back home. But everything was done basically virtually, and the state picked up the case, and they went ahead and filed the restraining order and everything.
Okay. All right. I mean, is there any other final thoughts? First of all, do you know if he had any kids, Victor, or you don't?
No, as far as if I know, at that point of time, he didn't. Okay.
All right. And is there any final thoughts for the people out there? I mean, I know you've kind of shared your story, but for the ladies or anybody out there going through that situation.
Well, I just want everybody to know, especially the ladies, even men, just be safe. We're living in a day of time that it's crazy out here.
Right.
It's
getting worse.
It's getting crazier and crazier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting crazier and crazier. So just be safe. And, it's best to just live in solitude if you have to.
Right.
Don't be in a rush to try to find love.
Yep. All right, Angela. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the call. Take care.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye. I love you all. Be blessed.
Thank you. Bye. Wow. I was not expecting that. Pretty interesting. There's two other people. They've been holding for a while. So let me take 978. 978, how you doing? Who's this?
Hi, Mel. This is Christy. How are you doing?
Good. Christy. Which Christy? I feel like there's so many Christys.
Oh, but I've never called into your show before.
Oh, you haven't?
But
Okay.
I've been sub for a while.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to be very different from most of the callers.
Okay.
I do want to talk to you specifically about something.
Okay.
So I will say this. I want you to just be careful and be wary of some of the callers that be calling in. They're calling in with completely made up stories. So I will say this. There is a YouTuber I used to watch, and ever since I stopped watching his channel, he has had all these random trolls subscribe to every single YouTuber I am subscribed to, including yours. So I have been seeing a lot of people on a lot of my girls that I have, my friends that are YouTubers. I've been seeing a lot of those people under those YouTubers' chat rooms, your chat rooms, and they just say, a lot of them are men with female profiles, like made up profiles. There's a guy in Atlanta, Georgia, who was basically, he has a YouTube channel. I won't say to you on the phone, but I will tell you. And basically, he was trying to make a play for me, talking like he was interested in me, trying to date me. I found out this man was on the DL. And I found out also that this man was just trying to get information from me because what he does, he goes online and they steal Cash App money from YouTubers. They steal money from anyone that has their Cash App up. They go on people's YouTube. They comment on videos with fake profiles. With all due respect, the last young lady that called, ma'am, please. I know there is a big story going on. I know I'm a producer. I work for the Washington Wizards. I know this. I live in Washington.
Washington Wizards?
I know that. Yes, actually, that's where I work. I live in DC.
Oh.
So if the young lady that called you right before was holding, with all due respect, I will say this: unpopular opinion, but as a Black woman listening to another Black woman and knowing how things have been taking place, young lady, I know that you are calling in because it's attention. You're telling, that's what Mel does. This is his channel. But please don't call in looking for attention, fabricating a long ass made up story. That is foul.
What do you talk? Well, first of all, how do you know that that's made up?
I know it's because I've heard her call in on other channels.
Oh, you have?
All my female friends. Yes, I have. Female friends that are YouTubers. That same woman with different stories. So that's why when I was listening to her talk, I'm listening to you ask her questions. I'm listening to you ask her questions. I was rolling my eyes like, yo, these people are crazy out here. These people are crazy. No,
I don't know.
No, there are crazy people out here.
That I know. I know. But
they seek attention from sob stories. When someone feels bad for that, it's almost like a sickness. When someone says, "Oh my God, that happened to you," what else happened? That it's attention. It's attention. Oh, he jumped on me and he did it. You never met the man. What are you talking about? Stop it. This is not the platform to do that. If you need that much attention, ma'am, go seek it. You're talking about solitude. Maybe you should take your own advice. You're calling into a stranger's platform with a completely made up story. I have heard you on four different female YouTube channels that I follow. Yes. Two of those girls I am very close to. So when I was actually listening to music and I was skimming through my TV and with my friend, and I'm like, oh, it's not Mel's live. And I just turned up the volume and I'm like, yo, you freaking kidding me right now? This lady again?
What's your username on YouTube? You said you're Christy. What's your username?
My name is Christy O. I don't have a YouTube channel. I just follow a couple people on YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber. But my YouTube name is Christy O. And actually, you know what? Now, while I'm on the phone with you, actually, can I ask you for your email?
Yeah, it's iCkEdMeL@gmail.com or iCkEdMeL@iCkEdMeL.com.
iCkEdMEL. Because actually, to be honest, there's actually more info I want to tell you, but I cannot tell you that specific part on the phone.
Okay.
So
well, let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Yes.
I have no idea about these other YouTubers and these weirdo people that have no life, and this is what they do, and that's why they'll never become anything. So I don't have time to like entertain all that stuff. She could. I don't know. Maybe that's not Angela. Maybe it is. I don't know if it is. I'm sorry for her if it's not. That's a horrible thing to do. But as far as messaging and following behind these people, I don't have time for these no-lifers to be following after these people. So I'm not really that interested in this stuff.
And that's why I have to call in, because that's basically, I'm not like, I cannot listen to someone say stuff and taking up that much time of something that's not true. That's not what the platform is for. And no one is going to trail. But I actually want to email you something that I actually I don't want to say on the phone.
Okay, sure, email me.
Yeah, that's totally separate.
Some people think, I don't know. Some people think the call is fake. Some people think it was real. So I don't know. It's a good question. It could be a troll.
But honestly, that's the thing about me. I wouldn't say something unless I knew for sure.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna be like, I think it might be. No, I think I know. I know the voice. I know the person. So that's why I'm like, you can't keep, like, I know you have subbed to the people I'm subbed to through this YouTuber, but please just listen. If you have the urgency to say something that's not true, just listen to people talk. You know what I mean? Because don't cross the line and actually call in and come up with different things to say just for attention. Don't do that. But anyways, I enjoy your content, Mel, and that's the reason why, like, sometimes I debate, should I say something or should I not say something? Should I keep it to myself or should
I've never heard of you before. This is the first time I think I've heard of you. And I've never seen you comment on a video. I've never seen you in a live chat or anything. So, I have no idea who you are either.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I've never ever commented. I just watch.
Okay.
So
All right. Well,
that's
thank
why I'm
you.
saying,
I appreciate the call.
yeah.
Email me too if you
yeah,
want.
no problem. Say that again?
Email me if you like too. Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got you.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
All
Bye.
right, bye. Yeah. Let me just say with that, I don't know this lady that just called in. I don't know both of them. I don't know if that was really Angela or not. She seemed to know parts of the story. She seemed to know. I mean, I don't know if it's attention seeking or not. Yeah, and I don't hang on to these types of people anyway. The people that are trolls. 321. How you doing? Where you calling from?
Yeah, it's Jason from Florida, bro. You know
shit,
what
Dr.
it is.
J. Shit got crazy. Shit got lit.
Bro, I'm in here, bro. Welcome to the 35,000 club, right?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I just want to say to the last caller, thank you, and to the previous caller, thank you. But I've been supporting iCkEdMeL for years. So the women that I know are Karen or Crystal Sanchez. There are certain women that's been in this chat for so long, bro. And no disrespect if I didn't call your name out, but the stories that I'm hearing about domestic violence, it's bigger than this one story. It's people in our family, in our community that dealt with this, bro. And it's like, I'm so lost, Mel, because I'm like, yo, could it be a family member of mine going through this that don't tell me? Do you understand what it's like to be a man and hear women tell stories like this, bro? Like, bro, my face is wet in your chest, like listening to these women tell these stories, because I think I'm a good dude, bro. So I think that all the women in my life would be honest with me. But, you know, when I'm hearing people in the chat talk about manipulation and how, like, you know, a man can separate you and make you feel away, I'm like, well, dang. Is there somebody in my life that's a woman going through this right now? Bro, this is crazy. And then when you like, bro, I don't even know how to explain to you how I feel about this, bro. Like, we fathers, Mel. Like, this is a big deal, right? Like,
yeah, man. This guy did it a lot, apparently,
bro,
with a lot of women. You know, regardless if the call is real or not, or whatever the hell. You know, if it is real, you know, I appreciate her calling. I mean, there's kind of no way to tell. But even regardless of that, these court documents and all these experiences that these ladies went through is real. You know, so
you will never catch me publicly going against any woman that says she was abused. If it comes out that that this person was not telling the truth, then I'm stand on that truth. But right now, I'm not gonna diss anyone that I think is a survivor, bro. Like, there's too much victim shaming and victim blaming going on in the world today. Like, if this woman told her truth, if that's not her truth, once we find out, then, you know, I'll go BANANAS. But until then, no, I'm riding with Shantae, or, you know, whatever her real name is. But, you know, like, and to the woman that called the last caller, like, we a whole gang over here, and not the gang affiliation, but if I don't know you from the chat, like, it's really hard for me to respect anything you say, because this community over here in Melville, everyone has an opportunity to say whatever they want to say, even if what they say isn't what everyone wants to hear. And that includes our platform provider, because politically, he says a lot of things that a lot of the people that love Mel don't want to hear Mel say. So if Mel is free to say what Mel wants to say, everyone in the chat is free to say what they want to say. So for you to say that you don't speak because you think it'll be offensive, we don't take offense to anything, because in this community, we all are different. That's what makes us a community. We don't have to agree on everything, but there are certain things that we all agree on. Don't touch these kids. Don't touch these women. Don't touch. Bro, I could keep going on and on, bro. That second caller threw me all in.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was a little weird because I really don't know. I really don't follow YouTubers like that or the drama. That's, you know, I really, you know, I don't know. I don't have time like that, yo. But I guess whatever.
And what's gonna happen is what always happens. You're growing, and people don't like the fact that you're growing, bro. Like, you started out your movement at the same time a lot of other people did, and you're growing exponentially, and people don't like this. And the fact that you have different type of personalities in your community, but all can come together under one accord, which is respect for male. Like, bro, like, I hate to always say Kara name, but you got a hard head, knucklehead like Kara in your chat. And then you got like me in your chat. And then you got like Charlie in your chat. And then it's so many different entities in your chat that respect your movement enough to know that just because you feel away doesn't feel away. But we respect it, we all feel away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, bro, that divisiveness that woman, the previous caller, brought, like, obviously no disrespect, because I don't disrespect anybody on YouTube, but to the last caller, you're a weirdo. And I'm gonna say that because you brought divisiveness to a community that's united. So why don't you stay over there with the Washington Wizards and do what you do? Because my big bro, he's 35,000 and growing. He don't need you. So unsubscribe right now.
I was wondering what the Washington Wizards are, though. I never even heard that. That almost sounded like a troll to me. I was like, Washington Wizards. That's like
we live in Florida.
A basketball team?
Who cares about Washington? Congratulations being a Wizard in Washington. Unsubscribe to my bro channel right now, and next week he'll have 3,000 more subscribers. Shout out to Maddie, the queen of the channel.
Gang,
Shout
gang.
out to all the women in the team that's been through everything. Gang, gang, gang. Second caller, unsubscribe right now. We don't give a dang about the Washington Wizards. Love and blessings, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling.
Cheers.
Let me take one more call. If I can pick it up. 786, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mark, how you doing? Hi, Dr. Johnson.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
I think I remember you calling before. Didn't you call one time?
Yeah, that was me last week. I'm not going to say my name.
Okay, cool. Thank you for calling back.
Let me tell you something, I agree with Dr. Jason 100%. I don't like to call. I always make my comment in the chat.
Okay.
I lost my sister from domestic violence. When she used to speak, the police never want to listen. They always say that's her fault. And my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law, used to say, oh, it's her fault, until we bury my sister. People understand that domestic violence is very real. And there was a time my sister don't want to talk because the police never take her seriously.
Right.
She even though went to try to go to TV to talk about that, they always deny her until she died. Domestic violence is very real. It can be for both sides. We're not supposed to judge somebody say, oh, she's not telling the truth. We cannot say that because we're not that person. If she's lying, the whole thing gonna come outside. But when that person say, I'm get violent, we cannot say she's not telling the truth because you're not living in that person's house. That's why I'm with Dr. Jason 100%. Do not put nobody down. When we start put people down, they don't want to come outside to talk.
That's
my
true.
opinion.
Yeah.
For everybody, stop put people down. Say, oh, they lying. They this. I might don't agree with you, but you cannot put people down because the moment we start put people down, the more they don't come outside to talk. And we're going to have more people hurt because they're afraid to come because nobody want to listen. When you listen, you say, oh, you lie. She's a fake person. She's not telling the truth. Now everybody say, oh, everybody fake. It's not fair. Let her speak her mind. If she's lying, one day everything gonna come out true. If she tell the truth, one day gonna come out the truth.
Right.
That's my opinion. Say hi to your beautiful friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Bye. Thank you. All right. And I think we got the end of the document to read. I have no idea what's going on in the chat, what these people are talking about. I got no idea what you like some of some of these people I haven't seen here before. I don't know what's going on, but it's an open line. It's anybody can call in and give their opinion. So that's what happens on a live stream. You know, there was one. Okay, yeah. I think there was. Okay, yeah. I wanted to read this final thing with the story, and then we can move on. You guys can message me, whatever drama, whatever. I don't know what you guys talking about. You can email me. We can talk about it, but it's a open line. That's how the online stuff works. So on November 28th, 2020, a warrant was issued to search the premises of the address we were talking about for evidence of the murder. We talked about that yesterday on the live stream. A crime scene unit from the Houston Forensic Science Center entered the home under the direction of myself and Ranger Darren Parker. Ms. Shannon reported to me that the bedroom at the end of the hallway belonged to the complainant, can't even pronounce that, and further reported that defendant had been staying with the complainant off and on since May. So she had been, the guy Victor had been staying there since around May, off and on since May, and he stayed there every night since November 23rd. So if I look a little bit really quick at the timeline, November 22nd is when she posted that date night post on her Facebook. Victor had been staying there on and off since May, but then on the November 23rd, the day after date night, he stayed there every single night. It's, you know, maybe he was already planning it since then. This was corroborated by multiple pictures of the complainant displayed around the room. The CSU concentrated their search in the room known to belong to the complainant, where the defendant was also known to sleep. Inside that bedroom, I and CSU were able to locate multiple traces of what appeared to be human blood. In particular, there was a smear in the bottom left corner of the bedroom mirror, a smudge in the interior light switch, as well as a blue sheet in the room. A chemical test, I don't even know how to pronounce it, I'm not even going to try, was conducted on each of these and returned a presumptive positive test. And then that's when this guy, Victor, claims that he didn't remember anything from that night or the day of the chase. And that was the end of that, all those documents. What's going on in the chat? Jesus Christ. I agree, police are not very helpful. I from Ricara, gang. Don't be jealous. Don't worry, Mel. You will know very soon. Yeah, you guys can email me, contact me. It takes away a little bit from the live stream sometimes, and I really mean it. Like, I really don't follow other YouTubers like that in my genre. Like, outside of my genre, I watch like entertainment and different things. But as far as my genre or the drama people, I don't. I mean, and if that was a troll caller, I'm not sure what they gained from that. Okay, whatever, and the video's over, you know. So Mel, you seem almost like the troll yourself. What do I need to apologize for? I've never seen you before, never heard of you. So why do I need to apologize to you? Never seen you, never heard of you, and now you're making all these claims, and I'm supposed to take your word for it, right? So anyway, shit got awkward. Shit got weird. That's the end of the stream. The end of the live. And I'm not really sure either, too. It's like I spent all these hours today, right? And I was looking up the court documents, and there was a lot of documents, and I took time to redact. And the only problem, too, with that call a little bit, I mean, you could just email me next time, maybe, or whatever. We can talk about it, but it just completely takes away from the live stream and the topic that we're talking about, you know? So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll look into it. We can talk about it behind the scenes. I can't take anybody's word. I don't know anybody, you know? So, all right, guys. Thank you for the live stream. Have a good night. Peace. Wouldn't be a live stream without some sort of weird drama, something I don't even know about. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Call me. Discord. Oh, we got a Discord too. You guys, you know what? Let me put the Discord in. You guys want to hang out after a little bit? I'm going to be doing a couple things, but let me put the Discord in the stream. Whoever wants to have an after chat, we can have an after chat off. I don't know if it's off record because you know these people, the weirdos on the line. I was recording everything. Let me get Discord real quick. Discord. You're going to apologize, iCkEdMeL. You're going to say sorry. I finally got you. Finally got iCkEdMeL. I've been waiting years. Now you're going to apologize and you're going to be sorry. How dare you start a live stream and take a call? You're going to apologize, iCkEdMeL. Get on your knees and grovel. I told you. I'm going to apologize. Yeah, there's 5 women abused, being strangled, but no. Talk about this other weird shit. All right, anyway, good night. Peace.